Team, yes, today we are going to talk about the gap between you and your sobriety. So you could be a high performer, you could be someone who runs a successful business, you could be someone who holds down a really successful life, but you're struggling with getting your drinking under control. It's the one thing really holding you back. You could be stuck in the cycle of binge drinking, it could be everyday drinking to relieve the stress. You may have tried AA or cutting back or moderation. None of it is working and you want some help which supports you. So who am I? I am someone who has nearly 7 years of sobriety. My life before was successful, but alcohol was holding me back, and along with other substances. And I've managed to rebuild my life and I'm now living my dream. So I want to explain to you this gap in the middle of you try to maybe stop for 1 month. You might do dry January and you do 1 month, but you can't wait to start drinking again. And you feel like you're constantly like trying to cross this river, which is flowing so fast, but you just cannot get to the other side. The other side being successful sobriety and longevity, you know, living a life that you don't want to escape from anymore. So today we're going to talk about that, the river gap, I like to call it. So let's get into it. Hey, so who am I? So my name's Jack. If you don't know who I am, I'm originally a jazz drummer. You've probably seen me on Instagram and that's why you're watching this video, but I now help people like yourself get sober. And actually, aside from that, live a life that you don't want to escape from and live your dream, you know? So I've accumulated years of successful sobriety. I've built multiple businesses. I have held down healthy relationships. I've lived in multiple countries, all because I've removed one thing, which is alcohol. And that's what I'm here to help you do and understand, you know, understand why. So this is me back in 2018. And since then, I've lost over 60 kgs, I think it was. I can't remember what that is in stone if you're in the UK. I've stopped smoking 40 plus cigarettes a day. Obviously don't drink or take drugs anymore. Again, yeah, life's been bloody wonderful. It's been hard, but it's wonderful, you know? And when I started, this is how I was feeling, and this might be how you're feeling now. I mentioned at the start of the video about not resonating with conventional forms of help, or you've tried moderating or AA, but there's a few more things here. So you're productive but inconsistent. Alcohol ruins your rhythm. You feel driven in some areas, out of control in others. This one. You've tried moderation, willpower, cutting back never sticks. We all know that feeling. Your energy and focus are gone. Alcohol can truly destroys focus and energy, you know, especially because you don't sleep properly, right? You fear stopping drinking will mean giving up fun, your identity, your social life. Again, it doesn't if you do the right things and with the right foundations. You don't resonate with traditional forms of help. We spoke about that. You're craving change, but you don't know where to start or who to trust. And that's, again, I'd assume why you're here. So I'm going to try and help you. Or I am going to help you. So I want to talk about something here called crossing the river. And ultimately, we're going to fast forward slightly. Well, a lot, 7 years. This is me in 2025. Looking much, much healthier. And I'm feeling this, you know, I have ultimate clarity and vision, show up at my full potential every single day, the best version of myself for me, most importantly, but that means then friends and family, traveling, living all over the world. That might not be something you want to do, but it's one of my long life dreams and now I'm doing it. Built multiple businesses again. Again, it might be not what you want to do, but this is what I set goals for myself and I'm now doing it. Peak physical and mental fitness, mental health being the key one, because that's why I ultimately stopped in the end. I truly believe everything is possible because it is. Again, if you asked me if I'd be sat here 7 years ago, would I be talking to you guys about sobriety? I would have told you to F off. Dealt with anxiety and stress. I used to identify as an anxious person. I don't anymore. And I sleep bloody great. So that's ultimately, we all want to be like this, right? And I get it because I've been on both sides. of the spectrum or pendulum or whatever you want to call it. So, but to do that, we have to cross the river, which is obviously a metaphor. And what happens is, ultimately, this. You jump straight into the river, which is fast flowing, with no life jacket, no raft, no help, no plan. You just know you want to get to the other side and you're willing to try anything. But you keep getting washed back to where you started, getting sucked back into the cycle. You feel lost, stuck, tired, lonely, and done. And it's this cycle, and I'll be making another video on this, so watch out for that. But you keep going back to the start, and this is the thing, you might do 1 month off, and you're like, okay, you might start to feel like physical effects. You're feeling a little bit better, you know, you have a bit more clarity in life. Your life starts going in the right direction, but still like lacking something, and you end up right back at the start again. But then it constantly builds up again, the pressure, and you still want to get to the other side of the river because you're not fully feeling the benefits of stopping drinking because you've only done 30 days. You might even do 6 months, you know, and you still haven't laid the foundations. And you're still caught trying to keep your head above water. You're constantly swimming, like trying to not drink, you know, and it takes so much energy to just not have that one drink. And eventually you start to drown. Your head goes under the water and you feel like the only way to get back out is to have a drink. So again, you've only removed alcohol, but you're trying to live the same life. That's a problem. You know, it's again, if you're going to the pub when you're trying to not drink, it's like being a vegetarian butcher. You don't see many around, or if someone's trying to not eat meat, you don't hang out at the butcher's, right? And again, it's slightly different with alcohol, but it's a similar thing. You need to make your life a little bit easier for yourself. There's cravings, confidence issues, and limiting beliefs to deal with now. This is like, again, imagine yourself stuck in this like river trying to swim as fast as you can. You have all these things to deal with where you think alcohol actually helped you with that before. You're expecting things to get better, but it actually gets worse. Yep. All your problems, when you're not numbing it anymore, come to the surface. So you have to deal with them head on. And again, it makes you feel like you're drowning. You don't know how to manage social situations. You fear you're missing out. You don't know how to manage stress, anxiety, etc. And every failed attempt, you get further away and you reaffirm in your brain, because you keep telling yourself that you can't stop drinking. And these are all the things what happens when you're trying to say go from here, which is being stuck in this cycle of drinking. It doesn't matter what type of drink it is, and you want to get here, which is ultimately sober but feeling amazing. Sober is like the wrong way to look at it. It's to deal with your problems. It's to not rely on alcohol anymore as a crutch, and it's to feel good and confident and great and powerful without alcohol. But in the middle, you've got all this work to do. All these things like we were just talking about come to the surface, and you have to cross that to get over here fully, you know. And just doing dry January ain't going to do that, I'm sorry to say, nor will just willpower. You need to get across this middle bit, which is the river. So you try and do that with willpower. Again, no plan and support. This is the most common way. Oh, just try dry January, or do like 3 months off. Just stop drinking. Well, there was a reason why you were drinking in the first place. Drinking is a symptom of a problem. There's something in the way. There's something making you want to drink. And, you know, drinking alcohol is a coping mechanism. It's what we use as a tool. It's a bad tool. It's a bad coping mechanism. Because again, it's why you're sat here watching this video. But if you have no plan when you're trying to do something, you are planning to fail. That is fact in anything in life. And I can't stress enough how much that applies to this, you know, and sobriety, stopping drinking, or creating a better life. Or, so this is the difference, right? This is the difference between me over the last 7 years and me prior to that, every time I was trying to stop. So before I had no plan, I was like, oh, I'm going to stop drinking. I was like at the point of like, oh, I'm done. I'm never drinking again. Do a week and I'm like, I feel better now, have a drink. I had no plan, you know? So what could happen is you do it with willpower, no support. You get taken out by a wave. The river starts flowing faster. You're drowning. It's like, ah, now screw it. I'm going back to the start, you know? Or you could build a bridge, which is a much easier way to cross a river. Rather than jumping headfirst straight into it and hoping for the best, you could actually put some foundations in place and build a bridge. And I do have another video all about what the bridge is and the foundation. So I'll drop a link to that at the end. But if any of this is relating so far, you can buck in a call right now and we can talk about how it works for you. But more on that later. You can build a bridge to cross the river. It takes more time than jumping straight into the river, but it's the best way to success. And trust me, it is. Everyone who has successful sobriety has built a bridge to get there with support, you know? Bridge would fall down if it has no foundations or support systems to it. So what does that look like? That equals, what does the bridge look like? So creating a vision of what the dream life looks like, discovering the obstacles in the way of the dream and removing them, and building the plan and gathering the tools and the strategies to start living that dream life. You need to build foundations to any great house. It's exactly, I can't stress enough that that is what you need to do, and that's why you keep ending up back in the cycle. And again, you have to think about it like this. If you keep ending up back in the same place, but you keep trying to do the same things to solve the same problem, you're doing something wrong and you need to try something different. So if you are watching this and you've only used willpower, or you may have tried other methods, again, which don't resonate though, you need to find something which resonates with you. But if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you need to try something new. And again, you need to build these foundations, you know, and this is what I do in my program ultimately is I help you build the bridge and the foundations and the structure. But anyway, you can find it all here in my videos too. So once you build the bridge, you then get closer to the other side. And with some patience, some persistence, perseverance, and trust, and a strong desire to want to be on the other side of the bridge, you will get ultimate clarity and vision, showing up at your full potential, the best version of yourself. Anything you want to do is possible because you've just overcome what you think is one of the biggest obstacles in the world, which is stopping drinking, changing your life. You know, you can start to lose weight. Again, if you build a great plan, you will get great results if you stick to it and you're willing to do the work. And again, no one can do this for you in terms of the work. You have to do it yourself. But you can ask for help. And there's only one shortcut in life to anything. And it's asking someone who has already done it how to do it and ask for help from those people. And that's exactly why I run my program, Grow Sober. And we use the evolution method, which is the method I use. And it's about rewiring the brain and the subconscious and the neural pathways, all that science crap. But it's much more simple than you think. To start building these foundations to move forward rather than stuck in the past, going round and round in this cycle, you know, getting sucked under the waves. So if this is you, I'm going to put a video here somewhere. It'll point up at some point, flag up. And this is the whole blueprint you need to build the foundations. But if you would like help, if you want the keys to the lock from me, who's done it, You can book a call with me in the link below, or you can join. I do 30 days of alcohol-free motivation. It's all you do is put your email in. I'll send you an email every day to kick you up the ass. But yeah, if you like this kind of content, subscribe, do whatever, comment below if this resonates. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you on the next one, folks. Go get it.